All right, friends, are we ready to play with Fiats some more? I am. So we're going to get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. This is the 1365 that started the whole love affair with Fiats. And it's a cute little horse, and it's one of my favorites. And I don't think I could sell it, even if that's sad to be like that. But like the family that it came from, they saw it at the fair and they were like, what's it take to buy it back? And I can't sell it. I don't know. Maybe someday, but not now. It's just too much my favorite, and I've been through about every piece of it. I'd love to find another weight bracket, but those are about impossible to find, so I'll have to take that off and copy it. What I'm doing now is I'm lovingly embracing it. Actually, I'm turning the battery on, and I'm trying to determine if it lost all of its fuel. And I should have probably determined that by, first measuring with something. Maybe I need to do that. I think around the corner I have my fuel measuring stick. And I think that would be a good first step before we waste our effort cranking sadnessly along. But I think we need to take those filters back off and try to do another O-ring swap on the top bolt, because I believe that's where they're leaking. It's fluidy up here, you see? And it might be that one right there that's the culprit. But we're gonna first see if we got any fuel left. If not, I'm gonna have to go get more, which I have up at the house. I saved a can the other day just for this exact thing. And I'm sure we're going to need it, but it's a nice thought to think that it wouldn't leak a whole entire tank of fuel out on me, but I know my luck. It's more than likely it's probably empty. All right, we got our official fuel stick, that's another funny memory. We got that. Grandpa and I were at an auction, and we got that, I think, in a pile of stuff or something, and he was so excited. He's like, that's gonna be our fuel stick because it's square and whatever. So it's been hanging in here as our fuel stick for 25 years probably. It's even broken, and he fixed it. Oh, that's odd. That's enough. It ought to start with that. So the question is, do we want to try to start it, or do we want to right away accept our fate that it's not going to start? Because the reason I ask is, if we waste all our time cranking and getting it started now, we're going to have to immediately do that same thing again, because once we take that bolt loose, we will introduce air into the system and it won't run. So let's boy, if we had a nice weather day again, I'd use it, because okay, we got wah 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 wow. Price is Right sad sound, friends. And I'm not real sad about that, because this battery has a junkyard battery in it, if I remember right. I can't see because this one's got the screen in it, but I'm pretty sure that's got a battery. When I took another battery away as a core, I saw this battery and I was like, that battery looks too good to throw away. So I traded another core for this battery, and it's been running this Fiat ever since we put it together. I think I had 2 or 3 of them at one time, and this is about the only one that actually amounted to anything. And it works great when it's warm outside, but when it's cold, how did I do this all the time? Okay, this is a math problem that I'm not winning. what have we got? Oh, that says 12.2. 12.2, that ought to be enough to start it out. Come on, cardboard box, participate. Okay, that's fine. That didn't gain us anything, so it just gains us capacity. It's being as stubborn as that one was. Well. Oh, this one doesn't have, I needed to go back and change that. This one doesn't have the Fiat style horn in it. I just put a horn in it, but we need a Fiat style horn. I think we're gonna have to charge our jump pack because it just ain't participating. But see, part of our trouble is it's definitely sucked air in it. I mean, look at that. It's just practically running fuel out of there, but it looks like it's maybe running up higher too, because like out of that whole hose. I think we're gonna need to get a light for A so we can see what we're doing. And then we need to figure out, did this hole rub a hose in it? No, that's not the right for English sentence, is it? Did this hose rub a hole in it? Is what I'm curious about. Because it looks wet all the way. Which that's gonna suck if that's the case, because that goes way, it goes up under there where you can't get to it, friends. You gotta go up under, like up under there, which means you gotta take this loose. You gotta take this loose. Take these out, and you can, and those two, and then you can pull the whole thing off the top. I think where we need to go from here is we need to, see, this tractor's painted, so we can't be aggressive with it like brake cleaner style, but we can get a rag and spray some brake cleaner on it and wipe that down and get a light so we can see what's what, and then we can get a Fiat style horn. That one's not even staying up. The vibration made that bend down. But we need to figure out what's going on here. I thought it was the top of that bolt leaking, but maybe it's that hose, that return hose, that's leaking, because it's covered. But what I'm saying is we need more light, number A. Number B, we need to dry that up a little so we can see what's happening, because right now the whole thing looks like an oily mess and I can't tell what's what. Also, whilst we're about this, I might ought just bring that other 5 gallons of fuel down here and put in there so that we have fuel for sure. Surely I didn't. When I saw that, did I shut the fuel off? No, I don't think I did. Nope. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I wasn't working against myself, because that happens sometimes, and I got enough trouble just doing it normally without sabotaging myself. So that's where we are. But we'll get some supplies here. I also need to get a GoPro battery, because you're at like 3%, you see. I didn't put a new one in, so now's the time. But I'll get that. We'll get we'll get some rags. Somewhere I got some nice shop rags. And some brake clean to dry that up a little. See there, it just dripped. So yeah, it just dripped and ran down. So we need to figure that out. We might also need to make us a shield for this, like they did on this one, which I think that was factory, and I just don't have it because the 13 size had that starter, that big long cantankerous starter. But you see how they made like a drip shield there to keep that off your starter. And I'm wondering if that wouldn't be a good idea for this in case this happens again, because yeah, see there, she's dripping pretty aggressively, friends, and that is not going to fly. That just will not work, and it'll eventually ruin your starter if it gets in there enough. So yeah, we'll get the O-rings also. That was the other thing I was trying to think of when I was talking. I think I have the right size. Watching me here. Yep. Okay. Battery, fuel, O-rings, thinking stool. We need one of those. And we're going to try to make this happen. Boy, that's dripping like mad. Wonder how long it'll do that till it's... Well, it didn't run it out this time, so I can't imagine it'll do it now, but it'll probably... whatever. Anyway, I got to get supplies. You're at 1%, and we'll come back and we'll try to make this go. All right, friends. I thought we were... Well, I should say we're a lot later than we were, because having a school delay made today just go, by so fast. So I had to quit actually and go on the bus route. And then that also, I forgot my rag was laying in the golf cart. So now it's soaked, which probably isn't going to help our situation. Uh-oh. That was... everything's happening now at the same time. I dropped my screwdriver. The phone's ringing. Let's get the phone. Oh, I can't. No, not right now. Sorry. I can't talk for 6 hours right now. I have to work. I can see the trouble already, friends. And maybe you can or can't. But let me get down here. I can see, do you see that the O-ring is smooshed out of the side of that one? And what I'm wondering, it must have not been exactly the right size O-ring or something. I'm not real sure how I'm going to go about this, because there's no good way to do this without making a mess. I think I already got some on you, which probably isn't good for the camera lens. I'm actually surprised at how that one little thing can make the whole thing oily, you know. This sucks, because this is going to let air in completely. And there we go. I'm trying to position you where I can actually still work, but also let you see what I'm doing here. But I think maybe we should just maybe we should do both of them. That one looks kind of cracked too. But what I was getting at earlier, I wonder if these copper washers are not the right size. Either that or, see, now I'm leaking diesel fuel all over myself. That's okay. I didn't need to be dry. Will you hang there? Maybe. That is way too big. I think that the O-rings that came with the filter were just too big. That's what I'm thinking. Because they are, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to try this again. And I'm going to get a different O-ring. Is there schmutz in there too, maybe? I mean, maybe we did this in the field, basically. And we were in a hurry, and we were not enjoying it because the tractor died on us, if you recall. So it is possible we didn't do our best work. Also, these are two different filters, not by intention, but by that's what I had. This one's a Napa one, and I don't know what brand that one is. Maybe I should buy 2 new ones. I don't know. Well, I'm not liking this one, I don't think. We can try it and see. It seems like it's not enough. One was too much and the other one's not enough. Maybe that's what we want. We just don't want it to leak. That's what we want. Maybe we need to not tighten it so much. I thought it had a more dramatic recess in it. And actually, now that I think about it, do I need an O-ring on this one? And what I'm getting at is, maybe this one just uses the copper washer to seal. And I don't need the O-ring. And that was my problem. This is smushing out better though. If we're gonna go this route, I like what I'm seeing here because it's even all the way around. Whereas that other one was not. It was like offset. So if we're gonna be wrong, that's okay. I like that. If we gotta... I'm just wondering though if there wasn't maybe this isn't supposed to have an O-ring on this style by the way that the base was cut. It just doesn't look like... I don't know. I'll have to check the parts book. I have noticed, I always thought that these filter housings were all identical since they took the same style fuel filters, but I've learned there are minor differences in fittings and things. And so maybe this style does not take O-rings. Maybe they were just happy with copper washers. And maybe I've been doing it wrong on this one the whole time. But it's funny that the first set of filters I put on this didn't leak a drop. And the second one, they didn't last one day. Shoot, I was just about to brag about how it was going to hold itself up in the air. Okay, I'm going to try to quick swap O-ring. I think that one was doing its job, but that one, I like the way that one flattened out, so we're gonna go that route for this other one too. Okay. I shouldn't have put my little screwdriver down. I need it. I want to scrape that around there just a little bit because it's got some schmutz on it. Again, I don't know why that the first ones I put on, they work just great for the last, it's probably been 3 or 4 years, right? Or whatever. Maybe it hasn't been that much, but still, it's been a long time that the original filters lasted. So, it's just funny that this set couldn't last one afternoon. I literally, I think, drove it back in the shed here because I never finished what I was doing with it. I still want to take it out and finish mowing before spring. And we put it in the shed. I put it in the shed because that was when they called and they wanted to come combine soybeans. And I never got back to it. And the next time I looked at the tractor, I thought, hey, it's leaked out all of the stuff. That's not cool. So, all right. I wonder if it wouldn't be a good idea too to get a better set of copper washers for this at some point. Maybe that was part of my struggle bus also. But let's see if we can pump her full now. We're priming. This pump is working good. I have a feeling we probably I have a feeling that we probably need to replace that pump on that red one, because it just acted like it wasn't doing nothing at all. I mean, even here I can feel that it's still hitting, and on that red one it's just loosey-goosey the whole time. All right, well, do we want to call that fixed and try to start it again? I mean, I don't see, it's amazing how it could look wet, but now after sitting a little bit, it doesn't look that wet anymore. So, ooh, bright light. That's still a light from a viewer, and that is probably my favorite one. I don't know why, it's just super handy. Okay, I think I shut the battery back off again, he says as he drops everything that's in his hands. I'm trying to pick up stuff that might vibrate to the ground, but I need to turn the battery back on, because I turned that off a while ago when I left, because I didn't know if I'd get back to this today or 6 weeks from now or never, you know. We just roll the mower over to that one and forget this one. I don't know. Sure. I guess we will know if we fixed it by the fact of earlier today when we just started cranking it, it made a mess all over the place. So that will be one. I don't like that being. I don't think we ever fixed that right either. We should probably do that one day. 12.3. Let's see what happens. See if it keeps running. It's got air in it, so it'll probably. Yep, that's what I figured. Okay, well, the good news there is we heard it run again. The bad news there is that it's going to take a ton of cranking to make this go. And I don't think this one, I don't know. We'll just keep on. I think we'll get it. Oh, your positive thoughts aren't helping. I thought that's all it would take, was all of your positive, happy thoughts. Also, I don't even know where the fard pounding sauce is, because the other day when we did that red one, I thought I'll put it in the toolbox so I have it, and I didn't do that. So I don't remember what I did with that. There could be a can on that one loader tractor. It just saves you a bunch of cranking on your starter if you do that, but I don't like to do that, and I don't really want to ruin my rubber boot. A lot of these I've seen guys have poked a hole in them, and that's not good either, because then you don't have anything holding back the trash. I see this one I forgot to put hose clamps on. That's probably not good. But this hose is so tight on here that it's probably going to be, oh man, that's probably not going to be the way. Well, Canute, what do we want to do? How do we want to do? That's not enough there. I could take the grill off and go up through the air cleaner, but see, then I can't crank it at the same time. So what I can do is perhaps just keep pumping and bleeding and see if I can make her go that way. It should be able to be done. So let me go get a little, I might get the red pliers if I can find them. I know where they are. That would be a good thing to grab a hold of, that little bleeder screw. Let's bring you down here where you can get covered in it. Need to go either the next click tighter, or I need to turn the pliers to the actual real direction that they need to go. Let's see what we get out of there. Oh, spraying all over me. We did get air though, so. But that is not handy. That is spraying right on me. Okay. It's gonna get you too. It's like changing a diaper or something. Okay. Well, that was fun. And luckily, I think our filters are still dry. So, sure. Let's try this again. I should have plugged in that jump pack before I left, and I didn't. Come on. Yeah, that really sucks the juice out of it. We were down to like 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 there. I don't like how oily that pump is. And we just resealed that top. So I don't understand why it seems to think that we want to keep doing the same stuff, which we don't. Let's dry that up too. When in doubt, brake clean it out. I don't think that I had this pump rebuilt, in all honesty. I think this is a pump that came on the motor that we put in here. So, you know, we don't know anything about that. It could be time for that to be rebuilt. You know, that could have been another issue we were having. There is air in there though again. Come on. I'd love for it to reach, well. Alright, let's try it again. Oh, friends. What's the good of having a jump pack if you forget to charge it up? I know it's still got air in it. That's part of our struggle bus. Oh, we're getting there. Okay. Okay. I would say here in a second it's going to start because I got some smoke again. However, our poor jump pack and our poor antique battery that are in it, they're just not going to participate, friends. And so what might have to happen is that we resume our progress here in the morning after I let that jump pack sit all night and charge up, because right now it's looking an awful lot like we're not going to make it. Our jump pack's at 11.7. Our tractor battery is at, I hate to even, well, that's what the tractor battery's at, 11.7. And the jump pack, that did nothing. So yeah, see, that's not gonna work. Oh, yeah, I guess we're hosed, friends. It's just hooked up, it's not turned on, and the battery is losing voltage. So I don't know, you know, we've got some lights. That fender needs the ground bolt gone through, I see, because it's not going anymore. So sad. Also, a fun thing that happened now is our oil pressure sender thing quit working, so that's great. We wanted that, didn't we? I think, though, it was being finicky. I don't think it was working all the time. And I don't remember what the deal was. We could have just blown that bulb. I don't know. This is a good little tractor, but they definitely have their quirks about them. And here we are. So, yeah, I guess we'll reconvene when we have more juice, because right now we ain't got it. All right, it's the next day. It's pouring down rain. But I've learned some stuff, and it occurs to me that other people don't know it all either. And that is why there's so much variation in procedure here, I guess. And what I'm talking about is we're still dry here with the way that I did it, and that's a good thing. But then I got to looking at the parts book and realized we don't need O-rings on there. All we need is those copper washers, which is the way that housing looked. And then I got to thinking, what's the deal with the O-rings? And did I just invent that out of the blue? And the answer is no. There are differences in these fuel filter housings, as I learned working on this Fiat versus the David Brown and what have you, and then also that 1250A. So this here is a busted housing, but it's off of that other 1365. So just like what we got here. And if you look at how it's made, it's super smooth and flat, but it is kind of recessed in there. But this style does not take an O-ring on that bolt. It just doesn't. A copper washer is good enough to seal. Now, I thought that I had one of the other style, but I cannot find it. This one here is off of an 1850, and you can see that whoever did this last time, he put the O-ring on, but he put the O-ring on above the copper washer, which makes absolutely no sense. You know, it was squirting out everywhere, and that O-ring's doing nothing. So people, I guess, are confused by what to do with that O-ring, because, you know, if it comes in the pack, well, on these kind, you don't use it. But on some like Alice Chalmers and probably some Massey Fergusons, they have a different machining in here. It's more like this hole, which I don't know what this hole's for, but you can see it's got like a taper down in there machined in, and that would be where the O-ring fit. And then you put it on there with a bigger, like the washer's bigger, and it smushes that O-ring against there and seals it. But I looked up in the parts book, which translated to a, you had to go to the breakdown parts book and whatever. And if I'm looking at the right filter, you don't need the O-ring, you just need the copper washer on this one. And so obviously, I guess people don't know that, because this one would have had the O-rings on it the very first time I did it, because I just followed suit with whatever the last guy did. And that's what I did. But I realize now, after it was leaking everywhere, that that's what the trouble was. So I don't think I'm going to change it this time, because it's not leaking now. But the next time I change fuel filters, I'm going to chuck those O-rings, and then I'm going to just go back to the copper washers, because a copper washer should seal just fine, and that's how it is. I don't know if this one, if we can see, boy, this is nasty. Nasty rain. Okay, now this one may well have the other style housing, because it's got a wider washer on it that's covering the whole top, which is what it would have if it was squeezing the O-ring down inside. But then this one has, this one's just got a little one, so I don't know. Until we take those loose, we're not gonna know what it's got. But I did go look, and like the Alice Chalmers one shows using that O-ring, so I didn't think I just invented that. I mean, I thought that that was obviously a thing, or they wouldn't supply that O-ring in the set. So anyway, I guess you need to pay attention, because at this point in life, the tractors could have anything on them. You know, people could have changed stuff over to whatever, but on that style housing like this here, you don't need it, because it's just flat. It doesn't have any place per se that would do you any good. So the reason it's working here is because I got a smaller one that was super tight to the bolt with no play in it at all, and then my washer has flattened it out, so it's essentially like a rubber washer now holding it. So whatever, I'm not taking that loose because it's not leaking, and we don't need to add any extra struggle bus to this procedure, because it's a real pain to get the air out of the system. So we're gonna see if we can start it today. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. The jump pack is acting strange, so I don't know if it's charged up or if it's jumped now. I don't know. I'm gonna go with jump pack is junk. It's not lighting up now anymore. Well, that blows the Knudsen, don't it? I don't know. We'll see. Oh, no, I know why it did that. Never mind. I'm not wrong. I shut the battery off again. So we got to give the tractor a hug. Now it should show us what the tractor has. And then the tractor shows 12.3. I don't know. We'll try this. Yeah, we're probably not going to make it again. I'm telling you, once you get air in these, they just do not, it's a struggle. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to pop this off of here and give it some fard pounders to get it going again. Because all I'm gonna do is end up ruining my starter and whatever by going about it this way. If you had another helper and whatever, you could pull it and it would fire right up. That's what everybody that's owned one has always told me. When as soon as you get air in it, you can crank and crank and crank and not get it started, but if you pull it 2 feet, it'll run. Well, it's probably a good thing we took the grill off. That was in there, probably from mowing. So the grill screen isn't enough to keep the fine stuff out. That's nice to know. I guess I'll go get a can of the good stuff and we'll try to make this happen. All right. Hard pounding sauce. Engaged. Oh boy, we got that. Yeah, it didn't take much. It was so close. Boy, that generator or alternator is putting out too much, isn't it? 17.9. That can't be right. Huh. Now it's down to where it's... Huh. I don't think that should be doing that, but maybe that's because it's so dead. I don't know how that jump pack senses voltage. Well, it's running and it's not leaking, so that's good. I think we're going to be in it for a water pump. My water pump's dripping, and that's okay. I've got one. I've got one on hand. That is not a fun job, but we're going to have to tackle it, it looks like. I mean, that's a pretty aggressive drip there. But whatever, it's running. Shut it off and just see what we get as far as it starting back up again. Our oil pressure's there, now it works. It's been hit or miss. It doesn't work all the time. I don't get that. concerned that the alternator's putting out 18 volts at a full idle, or wide open, I mean, but maybe it is smart enough to do that when it knows the battery is dead. Maybe that's the way these are regulated. I don't know. I mean, this is an Italian alternator and charging system, so a Morelli, and maybe that's what it's made to do. I don't know. But it sure runs sweet, doesn't it? I just love the way these little foreign diesels run. We gotta get our grounding bolt cleaned on that fender though, because it's not, those lights aren't coming on. The tail light's coming on, but if I turn on the flashers, it starts flashing. So, and the other two don't. So, it's obviously got some struggle bus issues there. But that's okay. Well, friends, I think we're going to call this one a win. I'll get my light back. If we look it over, it's not leaking a drop. So I think we got that fixed. Now, our injection pump is another story. It looks like it's wet. But I don't know what else to do there. We resealed the top, so I guess if it's leaking in that head, then we're gonna have to take it and have it gone through. That's fine. I mean, it's earned it. It's a good little tractor. I don't have a problem with getting the stuff that it needs to survive. I mean, it runs perfect. It doesn't smoke a lick. It's just a sweetheart. I think our water pump quit leaking too. Maybe it just needed a little persuasion. Maybe it has no water in it anymore. No, it's down in there. Huh. Yeah, it's just been sitting for a while. Maybe it doesn't like that, you know. There's our old battery. It's kind of greasy in here. I wonder if that seal on the cup isn't very tight anymore. Maybe I need to see about if you can get that. But no, it's a sweetheart. I'm gonna put the grill back on, I think. Now it's got its face on again. What a sweetheart. I could listen to it all day. If it wasn't pouring down rain and it was dry, we'd take it out and run it, but that ain't gonna happen today, and probably not for the rest of this week. So, but I would like to go out and finish mowing off that trash, and this works just as good as anything. We do have that new pull type bush hog we need to try, but I haven't got that far. I bought it for stuff like that or this, you know, that it could pull and we could do that with, but this is hooked up and it's proven to work. So yeah, just purring away. Lovely. Let's shut her down again. Let's see if both lights come on. This one should take a minute. That's working now. Fires right up. That battery just needs a little bit of waking up, I guess. All right, sleep. Pretty snazzy, friends. We can close the hood on it now. Close the hood and call that a success for today. It may be a utter failure, you know, next week when we go to run it. Maybe it won't work. But for now, it seems to be back the way that it's supposed to. Shut the battery off, so maybe it will still be ready to roll whenever we come back to it. Now I want to hear this one run just because we're here. It's cold, so it probably won't start. Oh boy. That starter may be giving up on us. It has a place in it that sounds like it's dead almost. Almost. It's a little more tired than that one. I mean, it's probably been rode a lot harder. Well, I shouldn't say that exactly, because that's not the original motor in that one. That one was rode into the ground. But the motor that's in this one came out of a tractor, and I think it's been rebuilt. And so it probably doesn't have very many hours on it. And that's why it runs so sweet. This one runs sweet, but it smokes a little bit and takes it a while to... It's very similar condition to the 1250A, I think, as far as the hours and how far along the motor is in its service life. But it doesn't really smoke too awful bad. You know, right now it's cold. Even I'm smoking my breath, so I can't fault it for that. I just noticed something else cool. Rubber plug in there. Do you think that was factory? Or you think a guy added that? I bet it's factory, because there's another one. Little details on this one that I've learned that you know, now we need to follow suit on the other one. Boy, I didn't realize this was as bad as it was there. We need to clean that off and maybe give that a meadow green shot there. But here you can see they put the Oliver serial tag here, and there's where they took off the Fiat one. And this one has never had that done. So that's still a puzzle to me. I need to find out what's the story, you know. It's very interesting. Yeah, what a sweetheart though. It doesn't smoke a lick just sitting there. work on our charging system. Basically our whole electrical system on this this tractor. It's still got some stuff we need to do, but I'm glad it's here. I was kind of nervous about, I don't like to spend a ton of money in the springtime because there's so much stuff you got to do that could go wrong in the spring. Buying tractors is more of a fall sport, I think, for end of year taxes type of thing. But so I was kind of nervous that day and wasn't sure if I made the right decision, but I think I did. Where are you gonna find another one? I don't know. I mean, I've looked on the internet for pictures and this is the only one that comes up. There's another picture people keep sending me and say, here's another one, but it's this same tractor in a different location, like at a different storage yard that this place had it at. And the one of them, it's mirror image, like they took it backwards on the phone or whatever because the stuff's on the wrong side. But it's this same tractor. There's too many little details you can see in the photo that you wouldn't have on every one. So I don't know. I'm thinking about, should I start more tractors while we're here, but I don't know. I had that one running yesterday, so that's no big deal. That Super 66, I don't know what the battery situation is on it. It should be a good battery. I'm trying to figure out how I'll get back there to make it happen because I really don't feel like climbing. I don't know that I can even get over this one now. They're so Tetrised in here, you know. Oh, I don't know. I might get in but not back out. Let's see if this 2-cylinder will play nice. It has been ever since we figured out that magneto problem. It's been really good. We'll see if it makes a liar out of me today, but that bar being upside down in that coil made all the difference in the world in how this operates. Yeah, we're not making connection. I should have known. That's another thing that needs attention this summer. This quick disconnect thing. I used to use these all the time until they started doing what this one's doing, and I realized they're not very reliable. Oh, starter. Now it doesn't like that. Come on. I don't know why the grunting, but that's weird. That's all it takes. Say to let the pulley run. I don't know why, for oiling or something. I don't know. It's working good though. How low will it go? How low will you idle? Come on. off and let it run out. It takes a long time to run it out of gas. Carburetor icing. There we go. That's all she wrote. Good night, good night. Now let's see if we can get over this one to get over there, and then we can see if it'll run. Let's take this off. That's the thing I'm talking about. If you can see that screw style quick disconnect, I used those for years on stuff because they weren't that expensive, but they sure don't hold up good. And I left it on this one because of space limitations with the seat. But I think what I'm going to have to do is just get a, I hate to drill holes in it because it's original, but I might have to see about putting the kind on like is on those Fiat disconnect switch, or I might just put it back to a regular cable and put it on and off when you want it. This probably won't run because I want it to. I don't know what kind of battery's in here. I thought it was a new one because I thought we just worked on this. Yeah, start up. Why no go? Do we need... We might need point sanding. I don't know. We sure ain't getting nothing, are we? There we go. Just had to let it get some gas. Gauge is working. That's one of the things we changed. No, don't do that. Oh, maybe it's out of gas. Maybe because it's acting like it. Huh, that's bizarro, isn't it? I can't hardly tell. Should have my fuel stick. It might be out. Oh, there we go. Go back to the videos to remember where we are on projects, because I have no idea where we left off with this. It needs probably a carburetor cleaning, and I don't know what else. It's got a brand new engine, so it needs to be used. But you got to run it with the choke out. Needs a carburetor cleaning. came out of a woods. It was sitting very forlorn. No sheet metal on it except the hood and the nose cone without any of the grill pieces. And the hood was bashed in till about there. It had a really weird pipe on it coming up out of the manifold where they'd like adapted it down to just next to nothing. So it's definitely come a long way, but it's still got a long way to go. I'd like to find a better hood for it, but a Super 66 hood, that's kind of a tall order. The only harder thing would be a 660 hood with the battery box like this. You just can't find that stuff. Now it's too much. There we go. Rebuilt the motor. I should have filmed it. It rolled over that hourglass. I don't know how long that takes. It is counting. Turn the gas off on this one. Let it run out. All right. Well, that runs still. That's good to know that what we did to it last time kept that going. So, yeah. We got a 1365 fixed, and you got to hear, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different tractors run today. That's not a bad day. And the other day you got to hear the 500 run, so we know it's good. So, yeah. You can't complain when you got a day like that. That's why I have these. Not to take them to shows or for other people. I have them so that I can come out here and start them up and listen to them run and enjoy my life. So, yeah. Well, anywhoos, I think we'll leave this one here. I'm stuck back here where I'm at, but I'll climb out again. And I guess we'll leave this one here. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.